This show has been made possible with the continued support of the PM Affiliate Program.
Well, hello there, friends. J. Todd, back again. Gambling news. You keep watching. I'll keep making them. So long as the paychecks keep on coming, of course. I mean, I ain't running a charity here. Fall seems to be arriving right on schedule. We got some yellow back there in the leaves. Some of it's coming in on the trees. I'll show you that over the next several weeks. And I'm wearing a jacket today because yes, it is that cool, not cold, just kind of cool. And after looking at myself on video a couple of weeks ago, I wanted to show less man nipple on screen, so there's that. Sorry, ladies, and a few of you guys out there, but that's just me and my modesty. This week's stories are a mix that I've been wanting to discuss for some time, but there's been too much British bullshit going down to get to them. So today's the day. We're gonna have to move quickly through them, so I will simply provide you with the basic details, followed by a concise translation in real-world language, starting in Norway, where the Minister of Culture wants to review and converge the Lottery Act and the Gaming Act into a single legislative structure. Translation: they want a government monopoly on gambling, and this is the quickest way to get there. In Sweden, the head of sustainability and corporate social responsibility for a former monopoly, the ATG, says that their recent player loss limit, which was enacted specifically to combat problem gambling during the pandemic, has been a victory. And then from the other side of her mouth, she admits there is absolutely no data to support the original fear or reasoning behind the implementation of the loss limit, i.e. no rise in problem gambling. Therefore, while the limit is unneeded and unfounded, it's still been a smashing success. Translation: we had a government monopoly, but now we're just trying to justify our positions and associated salaries. Meanwhile, in Greece, the regulator there has released the conditions for licensing sports betting and games of chance. The HGC says that they will charge up to €3 million per license and then collect a 35% tax on top of that. Translation: we are a government monopoly, and there's not a damn thing you can do about it other than bend over. And the European Gambling Association says they want even more restrictions in place to facilitate player protections during, can anyone guess? That's right, the pandemic. This still, despite the fact that there is no evidence of a spike in problem gambling during COVID-19. Translation: we don't need evidence to perpetuate our goals, only fear. Actually though, to be fair, what the EGBA wants to do isn't really all that bad. I just disagree with these cookie-cutter, multi-jurisdictional scare tactics to accomplish what they want to. As we begin the second half of our show, another story I've been wanting to mention. Usually on this program, we discuss codes and responsible marketing practices for the United Kingdom, but this week I'm going to mix it up a little bit, and we're going to discuss Codes and Responsible Marketing Practices for the United States. Yeah, totally different. If you haven't heard, the American Gaming Association has developed a new code of conduct, as they're calling it, to prevent irresponsible advertising when it comes to sports betting. Seems like I've heard this somewhere before. They call the new rules the Responsible Marketing Code for Sports Wagering. It's sounding very familiar. And the code is designed to prevent adverts from promoting irresponsible or excessive participation in sports betting and to ensure that all adverts will contain responsible gaming messages with a toll-free helpline. Now I know where I've heard this before. It's basically a milder, more concise, more realistic version of what the UK codes are trying to accomplish. And webmasters watching this program should take note, especially if you have any ambitions to ever be a regulated U.S. affiliate in the future. Of course, there are key differences between the AGA and the slew of abbreviated regulatory bodies in Britain. And of course, the AGA is an industry body which, if you get down to brass tacks, actually has no authority to levy fines or pull an advert or even revoke a license. To me, though, this doesn't appear to be a heavy-handed approach to dealing with this issue of responsible advertising. It seems more to me like the AGA is trying to set a realistic standard with a proactive motivation to keep ahead of the complications we're now seeing across the UK and Britain. Here's to hoping that's enough. Now, I think that wraps it up. I plan on seeing you next week, but who knows? My health problems are still persisting, and I'm actually shocked that I was able to film all of this in one take without having to run to the little boys' room, which is where I'm headed right now. Sorry, no man nipple, no following me to the restroom. I know you're all very disappointed. I'll see you next week, God willing. Well, alrighty then. Forgot what I was gonna say. Ow, God bless. Oh, that freaking hurt. Okay. Translation. We don't need evidence to perpetuate. My God, I made it all the way to the end and said perpetuate. You dumb son of a bitch.